Welcome to my podcast, Life with Denise, sharing inspiring conversations and heartfelt wisdom. Follow online at denisepettit.com, YouTube at Denise Pettit, and Instagram at Denise Pettit. Quick question. When was the last time you learned something brand new? Not brushed up on something you already knew. Genuinely learned something for the first time. Learning isn't a phase of life you graduate out of. It's not something reserved for the young or the ambitious or the people with time on their hands. Hi, I'm Denise, and this is Life with Denise. Learning is a daily invitation, as daily as the sunrise, as daily as that promise of new mercies every single morning. And it's also a daily pursuit. The wise keep their ears open and keep seeking. And in Proverbs 18:15, it says, "The mind of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge." Notice that there are two verbs there. One says acquires, and one says seeks. This isn't knowledge that just falls into your lap. It's knowledge that a prudent, wise person goes after. Wisdom in this verse is described as like an appetite. The wise don't wait to stumble into understanding. Their ears are actively tuned to it, listening for it, hunting for it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You're not behind. You're not too old or too busy or too far along to learn something new tomorrow. The slate gets wiped clean, whether you deserve it or not, whether you feel ready or not. So try asking yourself just one question. And the question is this: what is something I don't know yet that I could learn today? Here's something I've noticed in myself and in people that I talk to. We usually don't decide to stop learning. It's not really like a conscious choice. It just happens somewhere between finishing school, getting comfortable in a job or a relationship, a routine. We quietly settle into what we already know. We stop asking questions because we're afraid of looking like we don't already know the answer. We stop trying new things because failure feels riskier than it used to. We tell ourselves a story, usually without saying it out loud. And the story that says, I've learned what I need to learn. I'm all set. But think about that for a second. Is there anyone in your life that you admire? Really admire that special person or a person like that who thinks that they've finished learning? Well, no, usually it's the opposite. The people we respect most tend to be the most curious. They ask more questions than they answer. They're still reading. They're still asking why. And they're still surprised by things. Learning isn't just something we do in school. It's a posture. It's a way of meeting the world that says, I don't have to know everything already for this moment to matter. And that posture is available to you every single day. This reminds me of the verse in the Bible, and that verse and book is called Lamentations. It's in chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. And that says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They're new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Now, the context matters here because Lamentation, true to its name, is a book of grief. The writer is in the middle of real loss and real devastation. This isn't a breezy self-help passage. It's written from a place of pain, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. In the middle of hardship, the writer doesn't say, things will eventually get better. He says something more immediate than that. He says, the mercy is new this morning. Not eventually, not someday, but today. And here's why I think that idea applies directly to learning. Because if mercy, grace, and a fresh start, a clean page, is renewed every single morning, that means that yesterday's mistakes don't get to define today. Yesterday's ignorance doesn't get to define today either. The thing you didn't understand yesterday, maybe the skill you didn't have yesterday, or maybe the way you messed up yesterday, none of that is the final word on who you are today. Every morning is, in a very real sense, a reset button. Think about what that means practically. It means you don't have to carry the weight of, well, I should already know this by now, into a brand new day. It means the fact that you failed at something yesterday has no bearing on whether you can learn it today. It means you're not stuck on being the person who just gave up on learning a new instrument or a new language or a certification or maybe having a hard conversation with someone. That was yesterday's chapter. Today is new. And I love this passage because it doesn't say that mercies are new once a year, once a decade, or even once a month, or once when you finally get your life together. It says every morning. That's like a rhythm. It's a promise you can set your watch to. You can wake up and the opportunity to begin again is already there, waiting before you've done anything to earn it. So here's the way that we can reframe this for us to think about it. Every single day is not just a new day on the calendar. It's a new invitation to learn something that you didn't know yesterday. You don't need permission. You don't need to have earned it through some flawless track record. It's just given, new, again, this morning, whether you feel ready or not. Now, Lamentations gives us permission, the fresh start, freely given every morning. And then in Proverbs, it gives us the other half of the picture, called the pursuit. Lamentations tells you that the opportunity to learn is renewed every morning, freely, without condition. Proverbs tells you that it's still on you to reach out and take hold of it. Grace opens the door every day, but wisdom is the one who actually walks through it. That's like a balance that I want to talk about today, because today is new and today is yours to seek. So let's make something practical, because an idea like this only matters if it changes how we live. So no matter your age, no matter your background, no matter your job title, or how much you already know, you can always learn something. There's no ceiling on this. There's no point where a person becomes finished. So think about it in categories, because learning doesn't just mean textbooks. You can learn a new skill, like something practical, like maybe cooking a dish that you've never made before, or fixing something around the house yourself instead of calling someone else to do it. You can learn a new fact, something about history, science, or the world that simply never crossed your path before. You can learn something about yourself, maybe a pattern in how you react to stress, a value that you didn't realize you held until it was tested. And maybe most importantly, you can learn something about another person by actually listening instead of waiting for your turn to talk. That, by the way, might be the most underrated form of learning that there is. The point is this: learning doesn't require a classroom. It requires attention. It requires the humility to say, I don't know this yet, and the curiosity to find out. Here are a few small, doable ways to build this into your actual life, starting tomorrow morning. So let's start with number 1. Ask one real question a day. Not a rhetorical one, but a genuine question to someone or to yourself about something that you don't really fully understand. 2, read or listen to something outside your usual lane. If you always read history, pick up a science book. If you always listen to business podcasts, try one about art or nature. And 3, treat a mistake as data, not a verdict. When something goes wrong, ask, what can I learn from this? What does this teach me? Instead of saying, what does this say about me? 4, you can literally start your morning with that idea in mind. Before you check your phone, before the day's noise kicks in, remind yourself, today is new. Whatever I didn't know yesterday, whatever I didn't get right yesterday, doesn't matter. Today is a fresh page, a fresh start. This is not just a nice sentiment. It's a genuinely different way to move through a day. It's a daily pursuit. Remember, the wise, like Proverbs reminds us, keep their ears open and they keep seeking. You don't have to have it all figured out. So ask yourself, what is something that I didn't know yet that I can learn today? You might be surprised at how much room that one question opens up. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this episode gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, because chances are they might want to get a fresh start too. This is Life with Denise. I'm Denise. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, today really is new. Thank you for listening to Life with Denise, sharing inspiring conversations and heartfelt wisdom. Follow online at denisepettit.com, YouTube at Denise Pettit, Instagram at Denise Pettit. See you next time.